What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be talking about the new clutch time mode in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. And not only that, we're going to be talking about what is the best clutch time lineup that you guys can build in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, and the best budget clutch time lineup you can build if you have 100,000 MTs. Hopefully this video can help you out if you are trying to play the new clutch time mode and are wondering, Ty, who are some of the best guys to use in clutch time? So this lineup is what Andrew has been running, but this is not my best squad. So we're going to start off at the point guard position. So obviously if you have Dame with Hall of Fame limitless spot up, he's a good option. Dame is a very solid option if you do have him. Some of the other top options, obviously Gary Payton, who we got plugged in right here. Trae Young is pretty solid. You guys have seen him be ran. Penny Hardaway is still going to be a cheese ball. Okay, let's not forget that. But for me, I'm going to leave Gary Payton in here as our starting point guard. You guys want to know why? Well, I get it. He doesn't have limitless spot up, but he's still 6'4", still going to play incredibly good defense. And if you have a good point guard, that really lets you do what you want at shooting guard. Obviously, if you have Michael Redd, another fantastic guy to use at shooting guard. Michael Redd might be the best guy to have at your shooting guard in clutch time, just because he can do it all. Klay Thompson, obviously very solid. James Harden going to be able to create a lot of offense for you. Here's really the thing. You got these two. You also got Derozan. Some other guys you might want to think about is Tracy McGrady. He's probably the other top guy to plug in here. But between these two guys, it's close. James Harden's going to be able to create a little, maybe better. Klay Thompson's going to be a little bit better defensively, a little better of a shooter. I'd lean Klay Thompson, right? That's who I'd lean with as my shooting guard if I had, every option in the game. Maybe outside of Michael Redd, Klay Thompson is the guy that I would lean to. At small forward, I can look on 2K database if I go into small forwards and just look up who has Hall of Fame range, right? Who has Hall of Fame limitless spot up that can play the three. These are going to be your options, okay? Hall of Fame limitless spot up that can play the three. Your options are Michael Redd and Derozan Petrovic. Neither of those guys I'm going to run at the small forward position. So really it comes down to Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant. You could move T-Mac to that 3 if you wanted to, especially in clutch time with the way it's played. But I really think it comes down to those two options in Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Durant. I personally like KD just a little bit more than Carmelo Anthony for the current time we're in. I like his release more, especially on next gen. So that's where I'd lean. And this is for both gens. And I think KG on both current and next gen is a little bit better than Melo. You honestly can make the case on next gen Melo is better than KD. I'm going to lean KD though. Power forward position really depends whether you want a guy that can shoot or the best overall power forward in the game. Now, if you want a guy with range that can shoot, you're looking at Dolph Schayes. It's probably the best shooting power forward that you guys can plug in here. You can make a case AK. You can make a case maybe Paul Silas. I'm leaning Dolph Schayes if you do want a guy that can shoot. Now, for me, I don't really care if a guy can shoot or not. So I'm going to plug in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the reason I'm going to plug in Giannis here is because with the 73 3-ball, with the shooting badges, with limitless spot, heck, you could knock down a 4-pointer with Giannis, and I wouldn't even be surprised. Now, center, if you know me, you know I love Kevin Garnett. You literally know I love Kevin Garnett, but on the flip side of things, I got to realize in clutch time, shooting's just a little more valuable. And D-Rob has a little better release. So you're really comparing these two guys, Kevin Garnett and David Robinson. That's who you're comparing. David Robinson, if you do give him gold limitless spot up though, is who I'd give this slight advantage to. Very, very slight. But I would give it to David Robinson just because he has that little better release compared to Kevin Garnett. So if you want to build your best overall lineup in clutch time, this is the lineup that I would go with. Now, again, that is my personal opinion. You guys might want to substitute a guy like T-Mac, Michael Redd in here, Damian Lillard maybe in for the point guard position. That's all subject for debate. But this lineup is not cheap. I mean, obviously, Gary Payton's an unlimited reward. If you don't want an unlimited reward, I'd probably lean John Wall. I haven't really talked about John Wall because I can't really dribble with John Wall. But, I mean, if you don't want to talk about an unlimited reward, I think auctionable-wise, John Wall is your best other option at that point guard position. But, again, this lineup would not be cheap to build. You're probably looking at close to, $1.5 million to build this lineup, especially if you add John Wall. But that's the best clutch time overall lineup in the game. Now, Next, we're going to hop into the best lineup for 100,000 MT. So if you have 100,000 MT, who are you looking at that point guard position? I think it changes a ton when we're talking about the point guard position. You could plug in a guy like Alex Caruso, who's going to be really good on the defensive end. Probably leave a little bit to be desired on offense, but people love that Alex Caruso card. Could also lean with a lot of different options, maybe a shooting guard. I'm going to go with the card for 40,000 MT that might surprise you in Trae Young. Now, the reason I'm going with Trae Young is in clutch time. I think the court's a little smaller. It's maybe harder to exploit mismatches. I like Trae Young, especially what he gives you on the offensive end with the 4-point line being in the game. I think as a complete point guard, Trae Young's up there. I mean, if you can move and groove with Trae with his quick release, there's a lot of positives to take away from that card. Shooting guard position, again, I want my backcourt to really be able to create for me. I mean, you can plug in, guys like Eddie Jones, who's going to be really good. But how much is Eddie Jones really creating for you, right? That's my question. Again, even Marcus Smart, a guy you guys might argue, should be on this. But how much is Marcus Smart really going to create for you? Then you look at a guy like Drazen Petrovic. Okay, let's just go over the badges on Drazen to see why he is on this list. Have a catch, shoot, blinders, limitless, spot up, sniper. Not only that, he can hold it down in the defensive end of the court. 89 lateral quickness, 87 speed. He's not an awful defender. And again, clutch time, I can't stress enough how important having guys out there that can shoot 4-pointers is. So my backcourt with Trae Young and Drazen Petrovic is it. Now these guys probably combined, you're going to spend 70,000 on. So for the rest of your squad, you're really going to have to ball on a budget. But I want my backcourt to be strong, to be able to knock down shots, especially from that 4-point line. So Trae Young, Drazen Petrovic are the two guys I would start with. Now heading into that small forward position, which, again, you have to really think about who gives you the best option to win games. Now, you guys might argue John Havlicek, even Eddie Jones, Kyle Korver. Some of you guys probably like him at the 3. Covington, Miles Bridges, a lot of good guys. But the guy I'm going to settle with is just our best overall budget small forward in the game, and Mikal Bridges. You got Hall of Fame interceptor. Not only do you have a Hall of Fame interceptor, you also have a complete small forward that can shoot, play defense, attack the rim, handle the ball a little bit. This card can do it all. And for less than 10,000 MT, he feels like an absolute steal. The power forward position, guys, I know we could plug in, some more of these Amis, maybe, Dino, whoever else. I'm budging on I'm balling on a budget. And I think this is one of the most obvious choices, is plugging in a 6'11 guy that not only plays very good defense because he's 6'11 and can play lanes, he can shoot it. He can play offense. He's just a complete power forward in the game. People use this card in comp level squads. And I think if you're going to talk about Jonathan Isaac in competitive level squads, you got to talk about him being in a budget squad in clutch time. Now, last, but certainly not least, is the center position. Oh, what I would do to plug in a George Mikan. I think George Mikan, for his value, is very solid. When you keep scrolling down on the center list, you're not seeing a lot of guys who I'm that high on. You check out the power forward position that can play center. Again, there's some cool guys, Josh Smith, but there's not a guy I'm like, wow, this card is him. Until you get to the Ruby level and look at Wang. Now, Wang at 7 feet tall, 89 3-ball. Heck, he's not that much worse offensively than D-Rob. Now, obviously, defensively, David Robinson's going to be a lot better. But the offensive end, what Wayne's going to be able to do with his 90 rated 3-ball, 89 3-ball, I'm going to be able to shoot the ball. Play mediocre defense, which is honestly all I need him to do. Knock down shots, have a good release, be 7 feet tall, feel larger than that, and just have a presence in the game, right? With this squad, I would be confident that I could win 50 games in a row. That's me. Obviously, you guys, it's probably, as long as you don't reset, it's all that matters. As long as you get through games quickly, which I think this squad can do, you have fun playing with this squad, you can do, and not losing games. Those are the keys. And I think in clutch time with this squad, they check all the boxes. Again, if you're trying to build the best auctionable squad possible, this is the squad that I would lean with. You got obviously KD here. You're not talking about rewards. You're probably plugging in Giannis. Then the center, you're probably talking about D-Rob. Now, if you want to really save some MT with this squad, here's what you could do. If you have KG, if you have Carmelo Anthony, and you have Gary Payton, now you're saving a lot of MT from where we started. But There's just so many different options you could go with. If you do have Dame and you just want to keep playing, you can plug him in there. He has half range. Michael Red's a card I definitely suggest using if you have him in clutch time as well with Hall of Fame range. Just so many different options. But again, if I'm building my best overall squad in the game, this is what I end up with. Let me know your best overall clutch time squad in the game, or if you had 100,000 MT, who did I miss out on that you guys would have plugged in? I hope you guys did enjoy this video and are enjoying the clutch time mode. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.